here's a question for you guys. Can this old abandoned bus actually be resurrected? Can it run again? Not is it worth fixing up, but can it be fixed up? Hey, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm here at the abandoned creek property. I want to talk a little bit about the abandoned bus for a little bit, but then I'm going to be doing some exploring on the property. So we had a lot of rain over the last 24 hours. It literally just stopped about an hour ago, and I told Brandy I want to come out here and kind of look around, look things over after a big rain like we had. Probably had anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain in certain spots. Not sure exactly how much we got out here, somewhere in between that. So we're going to look at this. I want to ask you guys some questions about the abandoned bus, and then I'm going to do a little exploring. We're going to go down to the creek, and there's some things I want to look down at the bottom of the hill here. Let me show you guys. If you guys aren't familiar with what we got going on, we purchased some property over the last few months, and we have been going through some things and showing you guys everything. So down here is where they had a lot of goats at one time. You guys can see a big water tank down there. I'm gonna make my way down there and see what we got going on. See if I can move that, see if there's a water spout underneath there, and just where the source of water they got for the goats. It might be from a hose he ran down there. There could be a spout, I don't know. So we're gonna explore that a little bit. And I wanna see if the creek is running any more than it normally is. It might take several hours for all the water to come down from the hills to actually get the creek going really good. So we'll just wait and see. We'll go down there and see what's going on. But first, let's take a look at this bus. So you guys know, if you've seen the other videos of the abandoned bus, there's a lot of stuff in there we got to clean out. We just recently got the tub out of there. But today I just want to look at something real quick. I want you guys, you experts out there, give me some advice. What you think? So Brandy pointed out in a video a while back, the key is still in there, right? So my big question is, did he drive this to here, park it, and that was the end of it? Like it just stayed here? Or did he drag it in? Did someone drag it in for him, or what? So I'm gonna look at this engine, and I'm not a mechanic by any means. My father-in-law is a really good mechanic. I'm not, so maybe we need to get him out here to look at this and see what he thinks. But the question is, can we get this running at some point? Because I'm thinking, because Brandy's on the fence of she wants to keep this and later down the road fix it up for an overnight cabin or something like that. So wouldn't it be way easier if it actually would run and we can drive it to the new location over there on another ridge or two? That would be pretty cool. So let's look at this. It's pretty bad. I'm sure a lot of things need to be replaced and all that, but can it get going? Can it run? So that's the question. Now there's, for some reason, he has a pair of boots in here. Is there any oil? I'm gonna say probably not, and that's probably might need an oil change for sure. Nice and rusty in there. There, we'll just leave it just like that. Yeah, I have no idea. I think there's still some antifreeze in there. I can see the coolant line. Like it's bad in here, right? Could it be fixed? Can it get running? It would probably cost a small fortune for that to happen, but I don't know. Was that the distributor cap right here? Wires have been torn off, chewed off over the years. What's your guys' opinion? So I've seen some people buy abandoned vehicles like this in the middle of the woods. They'll go out there and change some stuff and end up getting it started. So that was pretty cool. That's what gave me the idea of thinking, could someone help me get this going? Where'd they put fuel at in this thing? Okay, I guess what I could do is call the service department in Tulsa to get them over and fix this. But I literally cannot find where you put the fuel in this thing. Check this out. Hidden door here, but it goes to, I don't see anything. Maybe there's no fuel tank. Maybe that was a spot it's supposed to be. I have no idea. That would be interesting to know though, if he moved it out here or drove it out here. Okay, so I'm gonna make my way down. You guys can leave me some comments down below about the bus. I wanna make my way down to the creek, and we're gonna do a little exploring and see what we can get into. Okay, we're actually gonna walk down. We have a road over there. It's kind of washed out somewhat. I don't want to take my pickup truck down there, and the Ranger's not here. But we're gonna walk down the hill here. It doesn't look too bad, and go down here and see if we can move that big water tank to see if there's anything underneath there. So there's some pipe that was hooked up to the camper. And I think that's what he was just running his gray water off out down the hill and composting the other stuff. Looks like there was some sort of shelter, canopy, tent shelter or something. There's a framework anyways, it looks like. That's been many years ago. But the goats he had down here kept this thing cleaned up. I see a deer feeder over there. We'll go check it out here in a second. So if that means there's deer feeder over here, he was probably hunting right off the top of there, or he just liked watching them. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to move that or not. Look how big that is. So they got it upside down so the inside doesn't rust, I'm guessing. But there's the little, looks like it's probably some sort of shelter frame. Oh, don't see any water spouts anywhere. Have no clue if I can move that. Let's try it. Might be something living underneath there, but this thing's huge. No water spout. Still in good condition. Oh, there's a couple holes on bottom. So this doesn't really hold water because I see a hole. Some pinholes. But it could be fixed. So I seen a hole. Yep, right there. There's a hole. A little flex seal would fix that, huh? And there's a bullet hole right there or something. So what's interesting, I've literally never stepped foot on this spot right here. We've just seen it from up there. And there's no telling what is down here. What is this? Okay. Is this a septic? What is this? I don't know what that is. I thought maybe a plastic septic at first. Oh, just a piece of plastic. No snakes that I see. There ain't no telling what we're gonna find on this place. There is something weird over here. Let's see if you guys know what this is. What's this? This is weird. There's two of them. What in the world is that? I have no clue. Looks like some sort of homemade something. I don't know what that would be used for. It almost looks like it could be a drag, you know, behind a four-wheeler. I have no clue though. It's small. That is strange. What we got here? Looks like, yeah, a blind. Some hunting stuff, an old deer blind. And then there's a spot over here. I don't know if this is an old mineral lick or what. Check this out. This almost looks like it could be a little mineral hole where the animals, see how they're digging down? That's cool. I would think, you know, maybe it could have been a hog waller, but I don't think it is, because you'd see mud all over the trees and everything. Now there probably are hogs out here, but you can see that's where he was living. And I almost think this is where he had some mineral blocks and the goats, you know, got down the ground, into the ground, and they just kept coming eating it, and maybe the deer are coming back now. That's really, really interesting. Let's walk over here and look at the deer feeder and go from there. Okay. How in the world was he getting that up and down? We got some sort of stand. Set a pot on or something. See, what's going on here? Did he have maybe brought a ladder or something down here? That's an old looking winch on there too. Old. So he basically just got that clipped hanging on there. So I'm assuming he just climbed up on something and filled that up, because that pulley system's not really working. It's just tied to the tree up there. So as I'm walking over here, I spotted something over there by the creek. Let's walk over there and see what it is. I know what it is, but you guys don't yet. Let's walk over there. We got a couple bikes. Why in the world are they down here? No clue. That's kind of crazy. Anybody want some bikes? Hey, think there's anything in that? What do you think's in there? Oh my gosh. Y'all ready for this? Nothing. So what's so cool about this property too is that there's so much of it. We could be exploring this thing for weeks, not go through all of it. It's just crazy. There could be springs on here that we don't know about other than this big creek. You know, springs coming out of the side of the hill. Just don't know. It's going to take time to figure all that out. So one thing I do want to do eventually, and when we're talking about what I want to do, just eventually, I want to either rent a dozer or have a dozer operator come down, and you guys can see that's where we were just at up there. I want to make a road on the opposite side of the creek going up to the hill, big mountain over there. I call it mountain, it's just a big old giant hill, and get a road in there and get some trails established, so when we do deer hunt or if we want to walk trails and stuff, we'll have it. That's one thing I do want to get out here though, is a dozer, so we can do some clearing, because it is thick through there. The water doesn't seem to be running any more than it normally has, even if after all that rain, but it may take several hours for it to all start run off and really do some big gushing floods. I really like to get down here on a day like today. Wouldn't be too bad, but get down in this creek with my chainsaw and cut some of these trees out and take them back to the sawmill and cut into them, because there's no telling how long these trees have been in the water, and that could look pretty dang cool. And there's some couple really straight ones in here. There's several that I can cut off here and mill. That one's probably no good. That's way too big for what I can do. But the one behind it, one over there, I can see a school of fish in there. That's pretty neat. But there's a big old bass somewhere living in here. Lots of crawdads. It's going to be fun bringing the girls down here and putting out crawdad traps and catching some and then making some lunch with them and things like that. That'd be really cool. Let's check this out. Look at this old winch. Look at that. Down here by the creek. It's like, I wonder why they had it down here. It's been here for a long time because it's grown into the tree. Look at that. It's pretty dang neat. It's crazy. But that's a good hook right there. So Hope and I came out here several weeks ago and put a deer blind up with some corn. We were going to try to get some late season hunting in out here, but it just didn't happen. We never got to come out here and hunt. So we're going to go there and check all that corn, see if there's anything eating it. I want to put a camera up out there pretty soon in this spot and a few other spots that we found. So we'll walk over there in a second. But check this out. Look at this. Now, that's an old door. Wow. Oh. Who knows what that is? I have a friend that's really good with old cars. I think he said it was like a Model T door. I have no clue. What do you guys think? There's actually a utility road, somewhat I call it a utility road. I assume this is where they came because there's a power line going down here by the creek that gets power to the houses that live around here, up here at the bus and camper. But they got some sort of a road here. It's got some fallen trees over there where we can't drive the Ranger or truck or anything if we want to get down here. So we'll have to bring a chainsaw down here one day when we ain't got a lot going on and cut our way through that road and see what's on the other side, because it goes for a long ways. There's the deer blind. We've shown you guys that, looking at the cave over there. Let's see if the corn's gone yet. It's been several weeks. I would think if there's any action out here as far as deer, it'd be gone by now. And I don't see a drop of corn. It was right here. Yep, they've destroyed it. It was all right here. They ate every piece of it. So there's the cave. Brandy and I walked up there on the ridge a few days ago, just exploring, and we found some cool stuff we're going to show you guys in the future. So we found some pretty cool old abandoned things that we want to share with you guys and show you guys, and Brandy kind of touched base on that in the last video. But I want to wait till Brandy's out here so we can look at all this together. It's pretty dang neat what we found. So one thing is, you guys can see the cave system we got going on here. I call it system. It goes back in there and we can't see the end of it. There's no telling how far it goes back at all once you get in there. But then there's some more rock faces over there, and let's walk over there and I'll show you guys that. If you caught our tour video, you would have seen this part, but we didn't go down here and show you some of this other cool stuff that is down here from it. Okay, so there's more of the rock features. That one actually fell off the side of the cliff there. You guys can see the power line goes right through here, and our property goes all the way up there, a long ways to the road. Like this old tree, look at this tree they cut down. We assume it's the power line company. That's a big one. But you can see just the rock features up there. I haven't even walked up there. Let's walk up there. So I think this tree may have fell and broke on the line at one point, and then the power company come down, cut it down, got it out of the way, and that's what it looks like to me. That's actually what I used to do for a living, is this exact thing, clearing the power lines for the big power lines, for the big ones, not these little distribution ones. Okay, so when Brandy and the girls, if they watch this video, this will be the first time they've seen this too, because we just walked by it from a distance. We never walked up close on it, but it looks like there's a little cave that goes inside there too. Look at this. It goes up inside there. No telling how far back it goes either. Look at that. I can't see in there. Isn't that cool? Always look for, ooh, there's some droppings. That's what you're going to say. I always look for droppings or bones, footprints. There's definitely some footprints going up in there. Something's living in there for sure. So that's what I always look for when I'm looking at these little dens and stuff. That's more of a den than a cave, I guess. But I need to put a camera up over here to see what's going in and out of here. And there's more. It just keeps going. Look at this. It's not crazy. So I think you guys could see from the video just why we were so excited to be able to get this property. It's just so unique, one of a kind pretty much around here. Now let's check this out though. There's another like, not really a cave, but a rock facing. Look at this. Look at that. This goes all along the ridge over to the other cave over there. And up top, it's really flat and wide. Literally a perfect spot. Literally a perfect spot for a cabin, a house, bus, anything like that. It's just a really good location. Now you might want to be careful walking under here. I might want to be careful walking underneath here because some of this rock could fall. You can see some of it over the years, but I think the chances are minimal. But look. Isn't this neat? This is about farthest I've went so far, and it keeps going on over that direction. Super soft ground. I bet some good fertile for a garden. It's so neat. Well, I thought I'd show you guys this part of the property since we've never shown it before. And I think it's really interesting, really cool. So I want to make my way back up to base camp up top, and we'll put back up there. Well, I was gonna meet back up with you guys at base camp, but since I came up on top of the hill above the cave, and I see a bunch of trees that have been pushed over. It looks like a big windstorm or something, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. But check this out, what I just came across. That's been there for a very long time. Look at this. Looks like he was going to be putting some goat fencing up. That's been here so long, just like the other chain, it's grown into the tree. Even that bar. That's actually good fencing still. You can see the trees that I noticed that have blown over. And they could have been pushed over whenever they're cleaning the power line. I don't know. They've been there for a long time for sure. I mean, there's quite a few of them, so those for sure could have been pushed. But I mean, there's one, two. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. But check it out. That's interesting, isn't it? This is crazy. All the stuff that you just come across. So cool. Looking at old property that someone had lived on, someone that was developing to their own homestead. You just never know what you're going to come across. And I always wonder, like, what was in his mind? Was he going to fence this power line off through here and run his goats up here? Or was he going to go through the woods? Like, what was his plan? It's just really interesting to me, just what he had in the works whenever he stopped doing this. Got sidetracked, got on another project, probably like myself, and then just said, forget it, I'm not doing it. I don't know. It's just really interesting to think about. Let's see if there's any marks from on the tree where maybe a dozer pushed them, or they just got blown over by a big windstorm. That's a big one. I don't see any obvious marks, but there's several of them. Look, all these. They've been there for a long time. Could have had a straight line wind just come right through here and knock a bunch of them over. It's really hard to tell what went on up here. And it's crazy because the more I walk this, I'm looking at my my map that has the border on it. It's like it's even more than I thought. Like there's more of this area up here than I initially thought. It's pretty neat. Okay, there's the road going down to the creek where we were just at. This leads up to the old base camp. That's the name I just dubbed this as Base Camp 1. So now we are headed back to Base Camp 1 where the old abandoned bus, you can hear some deer running, the old abandoned bus and abandoned camper are at. It's really interesting every time we come out here. I might have showed you guys this before. I have no idea why this is up here. Do you see that cable? It literally goes all the way down there and all the way down towards the creek. That is a super long cable. So there was an old dozer here that they got off like the day after we closed, and it was already settled, like, yeah, come get it. And my thinking was that was a winch cable on the back of that dozer, but I don't know because I didn't really investigate it too much. But it goes all the way over here, all the way up the road right here. I don't know what it's doing stretched out like that, but there was a dozer sitting right there, and that cable is right there by that tree. So I don't know. I mean, there's no telling. Was he pulling logs up the road with it? Was he just stretching it out so he can get it back on? I don't know. It's just really weird, all the stuff that's just random out here. There's no telling. But here's a question for you guys. Can this old abandoned bus actually be resurrected? Can it run again? Not is it worth fixing up, but can it be fixed up? What do you guys think? Leave me some comments down below. Catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.